And now I invite Marion to go on the stage, and we support you sometimes to time. But you are the boss of the management. Again, I would like people to thank Marion and to applaud warmly Marion, because from the setting up phases to the negotiation of the grants and to the organization of the kick-off meetings, the consortium agreement, the grant agreement, and so on, you did a brilliant work. So personally, warm thank you for this work.
I need to say that the entire European team of ACTA was involved in that, so we can applaud them too. So let's start with project management. So I will go over some slides and some topics that Ivana has already mentioned. So I will go quick on that, but don't hesitate to ask questions at the end if you want to. So we'll first discuss a bit the governance of the project, a bit of management procedure too, about the reporting, deliverables and milestones, financial issues, some communication. Yes, for sure. Some communication advices from us, the next meetings of the project, and finally how we will deal with project management in Climate Farm Demo. So first, about governance. So the project is structured into several boards. I will try to use yes. Okay. So you have the coordinator, IDEL, here, who is interacting with with the European Commission. And then, so IDEL and ACTA work closely together to discuss with the European Commission, and they work also with the work package leader with whom they constitute the executive committee. The executive committee works makes some decisions that can be voted or submitted to a vote of the General Assembly that we will have at the end of the meeting. And we have also the Network Management Board who interact with the executive committee, give some information to the main, the specific roles that each of you normally have. You're either work package leader, thematic leaders, climate farm advisor, or national coordinator, normally. So the Network Management Board will deal with you to give you information or to get information from you so that we get the work organized and going. We'll discuss this a bit again during the presentation. And we have also the external expert advisory board with whom the executive committee is working. We'll discuss that a bit later too. So about the management procedure, let's start with reporting. So you know that we have 5 reporting periods in Climate Farm Demo. So after the end of a reporting period, you get a report. So the report happens 2 months after the end of the period. So and after the reporting, if the reporting is accepted, then you get the financing 3 months after the acceptation of the report. So you need to be on time for that. That's your cue.
Marion has the role of the good cop, and I am the bad cop. So all along the project, if you receive an email from me, it's not a good sign. It's that you have delay or everything going wrong. And the good news are from Marion. So please be on time for everything. For the report, we have to submit the report 2 months after the end of the reporting period. If you are not on time, we won't submit your financial report, and you won't be paid during 3 years. As simple as that. So we are a lot of people, so we will chase your report, we will support you in all the projects, along the project, in all processes, and also we will train and inform your financial and offices and so on. But please try to respect the rules.
And on that same topic, this means that when I send you a request, I send it to you, and then I will send you 1 reminder. So no multiple reminders, 1 only, and you get back to me, please. Because I cannot deal with everyone very closely with multiple requests. Technical and financial reports. So we have been discussing this a bit. So the technical report is composed of 2 parts. You have part A, which is the continuous reporting that you can feed along the project. So It's made of deliverable, milestone, but also communication and dissemination activities are also impact of the project. And you have the part B that is prepared specifically for the technical this periodic report to be submitted at this deadline. So you explain the work that has been carried out, the impact, open science, and deviations from the annexes of the grant agreement. So you have the technical report, but you also have a financial report on which you will declare some cost. So you will claim some cost to get some reimbursement by the European Commission. So those are individual financial statements for you as a beneficiary, but also for your affiliated entities. So this is all the third parties in H2020. So you will have to submit financial statements for you and your affiliated entities if you have affiliated entities. You will need also to explain the use of resources in that and to have it signed by your F-sign, which is already done normally. We dealt with that as a signature of the grant agreement, so we're good on that. So the coordinator, IDEL, with your collaboration, will submit the periodic report on the portal within 60 days after the end of the period, as we have already said. So what is important to retain from that is that all document needs to be submitted by using the templates that come from the European Commission and that we at ACTA will adapt to provide you even further information. You need to understand the rules of the technical and financial reporting from now because it's crucial for you to understand the cost, the activities, your participation to meetings to be able to not make any mistake in the reporting. And finally, if you have affiliated entities, you're responsible of the technical work of them, so please be aware of that also. So I continue with the management procedure. So about deliverables and milestones, we have 16 deliverables to submit by month 18, and 4 that are due, 2 that are few, I will succeed, 2 that are due by month 4. And deliverables need to be submitted on the portal following a strict procedure. So let's take our timeline again. So let's take the example of a report that would happen during the first period of reporting. So let's zoom in. Okay, so month 11 is the deliverable due date. So what happened is that ACTA, so I will send you a reminder 2 months before, at month 9, and then you, the partners involved in the task and the task leader will prepare the contribution to send to the work package leader by month -1, so month 10 here. And then we'll have the work package leader will comply the contribution, check them, approve them. If it's not okay, send them back for a further contribution. And then 2 weeks before the due date, the coordinator will check, approve, and submit. So what you will ask me, what if the deliverable is delayed or changed or no longer relevant to the initial description of action because we are on a 7-year project after all? Well, you need to inform us as soon as possible and at the latest, really at the latest 1 month before the deliverable due date. And you will need to explain us why and indicate the new date. Let's move to milestones, to 22 milestones to submit by month 18, 2 by month in the coming months. So milestones are verified by a short text, a link to an event, a document, and it needs to be sent to the coordinator and project manager by email. So you need to send it to us 2 weeks before the due date, and we at ACTA are responsible for putting it on the Teams. Is that clear for the moment? Yeah? Okay, good. So now we'll move to the most, a bit more complicated. Let's dive into financial aspects of the project. So the logic behind cost declaration is as follows. So first, you need to ask yourself, is the cost accounted in your profit and loss account? If it's not the case, you cannot claim it. is it an actual cost? So does it mean, has it incurred, do you have an invoice for it? If it's not the case, it may be due to the fact that it is a unit cost. So you can have unit cost for personal costs, for instance. But if it's not a unit cost, it's a no. Sorry, I have trouble with my animation. But if it's a yes for actual or unit cost, you can ask yourself, is the cost eligible according to the grant agreement? So you can read the articles. It explains to you how to understand if it's eligible. If it's not eligible, it's a no. Then, we'll send you the chart, don't worry. Then, is it direct cost of the project? So is it directly linked to the action? So I will explain it a bit further, but if it's not directly linked to the project, you cannot claim it. It means that it will be maybe an indirect cost that are calculated. So indirect costs represent 25% of your direct cost, and they are automatically given to you for a cost that cannot be claimed here. So that's the difference between direct and indirect. So then, if the cost is direct, then you need to ask yourself, is it in the right cost category? Is it a personal cost, subcontracting cost, or purchase cost here for Climate Farm Demo? If it's the case, it's a yes. If no, no. Yeah. And then, last question, do you have the right budget for it? You are responsible for handling your budget, so you need to ask you the question, do you have money for that? So I'm giving you two examples to further understand this. The example of the purchase of a computer. So the computer has been bought, it's accounted, it's an actual cost, it has incurred, it's eligible according to the grant agreement, it's a purchase cost. So is it a direct cost of the project? It depends. If you work full-time on it, you will need then to use a computer for only the duration of the project. So you need to ask yourself those questions. Otherwise, you need to proportionate the cost of the computer to that. So this may be a no because of that. The second point is that, is it a purchase cost? Yes, but do you have budget for it? Not really. But it depends. You need to make sure that you have the budget when you're looking at such expenses. Another example, attending a conference about climate. So it's accounted, it's actual, it's eligible in purchase costs, under travel, other direct costs. It's a direct cost of the project. So it's a direct cost of the project if it's about climate and is that you're talking in that conference about Climate Farm Demo promoting the project. It's under purchase cost, but do you have budget for it? Again, sound budget management is needed here. So it can be a no. You need to be aware of that. So now we tried also to make personal cost easy for you. So we propose a 3-steps methodology for that. First step is to record. Every beneficiary must have a reliable and certified time recording system. So it means time sheets, either paper or digital, but you need to record all days. I put that in red because it used to be hours in H2020. So now it's days that need to be recorded on the action, person by person. And then you need to be able to tell, based on this, on which work package you have worked. And it needs to be signed and dated at least each month by you and your supervisor. The step 2 is to select the right cost. So the good cost category, which is non-coachable, always eligible, is the usual gross salary that is stated on the payroll, the social security contribution, the variable component, the taxes included in the remuneration. So this is basic. Most of you already know that, I guess. So basically, if you have a bonus for working on European projects, this is not eligible because this is a salary component for working. You are more remunerated for working on the project, and this is not eligible. Recruitment costs, internal overhead, staff by temporary workforce agencies, this is not eligible. And then we have some case-by-case specific situations such as overtime, teleworking, and of contract indemnities, sick leave, parental leave. So you'll get to dive deeper on that. And then how do you calculate the personal cost? So this is new in Horizon Europe, so that's why we wanted to present it to you. So a personal cost needs to be calculated per person for the reporting period. So you need to multiply the number of days during which you have been working on the project for this reporting period, and you multiply it by the daily rate. So the day equivalence multiplied by the daily rates. The day equivalents need to be rounded up or down to the nearest half day, and then also need to be up, so there is a ceiling, so they need to be up to a declarable maximum, so there is a declarable maximum amount of day equivalents, which is 215 divided by 12, so this is the number of the commission, multiplied by the number of months during which the person has been working on the project in the reporting period, and the working time factor, which is if you work 1, if you work full-time, 1.5 if you work part-time. And then the daily rate, so the actual personal cost, which you have been working, the actual personal cost in the reporting period, divided by the maximum declarable day equivalents that I have just described here. So be aware of that. So now, auditing. So there are two forms of auditing. The certificate on financial statement, which are financial audits that are made by an external auditor. So usually it happens when your cumulative budget, so cumulative requested EU contribution, is over 430,000 euros. Sometimes, if you have a system in place for auditing within your organization, it can go up to 725,000 euros. The CFS is prepared by an independent auditor, and for public bodies, you have a specific case. And it happens only at final payment, for which you will need to submit the PDF of that certificate with your reporting. And the costs that you have had to conduct the CFS, you can declare them under other goods, works, and services with Work Package 9. You can also receive audits from the European Commission. I don't wish that on you, but that happens. So audits can happen up to 2 years after a final payment, and you need to keep all the documents related to the project up to 5 years. So be aware of that too. Okay, so now the payment calendar, the money. So you know, I've told you about the pre-financing, so you know that the pre-financing has been proceeded this week. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so the pre-financing represents 27% of your budget, so maximum EU grant contribution again. So it's 32%, and it has been minus the mutual insurance mechanism. So this is the old name of the H2020 Guarantee Fund. And so this represents 5%. So we will receive back this 5% with the final payment, but this is why you have 32% minus 5% equals 27%. So if you have affiliated entities, your responsibility is to redistribute the money to them, because you will receive their budget, so their pre-financing payment, sorry. So you need to follow the documents that are sent by the European Commission. So their amount of budget is mentioned in the grant agreement, so please be aware of that again. Then, the key documents. So as Ivana mentioned, the grant agreement is your Bible. You really can refer to it for most questions that you may have about the actions, the tasks, the budget. And you also have the consortium agreement, which is an internal project that is signed by the consortium inside the project. And we made the PDF available on Friday on the Teams. And it states the good rules of functioning of the consortium. And you will receive the signed copies by the post in the coming months, normally, just for us to make the 80 pages per partner. It's very long, so it's a bit, that's why you have the PDF first. And then You will also receive a dashboard per beneficiary, so beneficiary plus affiliated entities if you have affiliated entities again. So this dashboard is kind of your overview of the project. It will summarize the action responsibilities that you as beneficiary will have per work package and per task. You will also have your budget and the financial calendar stated in that document. And finally, you will also have a contact list. So basically, with those three documents, most of your question about the basics of the project will be answered. So about communication now. So some good practices for communication and dissemination. We have been making some requests of you to give me some contact points for your organization, for specific roles such as national coordinator, climate farm advisor, thematic leader. So all those are to build contact lists, mailing links for those different bodies of the project. We warmly advise you to follow the following structure for your email titles, just for clarity and for everyone to find the emails, because this is a big project. So climate farm demo, and please indicate also your work package number, because for people who work only a tiny bit on the project, it will be easier to find the emails. Also, please give a prior notice of any planned scientific publication 45 days in advance. This is stipulated in the consortium agreement, so this is an important point too. And finally, the document repository platform, you will be contacted soon for a survey. And the corporate identity manual is released soon also, so this is the milestone number 76, and it's due at month 6 of the project. Finally, the next meetings. So we have an annual meeting that we would like to organize in spring 2023. So we call for you to volunteer to host. The conditions are the following. So it needs to be free of charge. So for instance, a university auditorium with one room, such as this one, for 120 people. Rooms for parallel sessions too. It needs to be easy to access for all European partners and with the potential to conduct field visits. And we are giving you this information right now. We will discuss it again during the General Assembly, but just if you are interested, please do not hesitate to come see us, and we can discuss it informally during this meeting. And finally, we are also planning some management and technical webinars for you in the first quarter of 2023 to clarify some points about the action and about, I expect many questions on financial matters from you, so this will be the opportunity to dive deeper into financial and administrative points for the management webinar. And then, Adrien, I give you the floor.
Yes. Thank you, Marion. And yes, thank you in advance for being volunteer for hosting next annual meeting, because it is quite important to anticipate in advance for organizational purpose, planning, and so on. So any volunteer would be welcome, and I offer a beer to the one who volunteer from tonight onwards. Okay. Other final few 5 minutes on project management and climate farm demo. So we are a lot of organization around the table. We've got a structure as such. So you see a lot of interaction among work packages in one way and another way and so on. And we are 80 partners, and even more with affiliated entities and so on. So it's quite a tricky process to organize and to manage on a daily basis. I'm quite sure that most of you are wondering who has these crazy guys who coordinate a 23 million euro project with so many partners. So we have to put in place good procedure. So this is basically, even in a more complicated way, the structure of the project. So you see from the almost simple figure before, we can go quickly to that. And if we are not well coordinated together, this could be like that. And I suppose that nobody wants that the organization and the management of the project will proceed as such. And you have all been involved in some project when there was a poor coordination and management. They were proceeded as such, and it was a nightmare. Even with the best scientists, the best project, and the best person in the project, if the management and good management procedure and coordination procedure are not in place, it will be easily a nightmare. So what we propose is to turn this nightmare into a more simple figure. I assume it's more simple. So, as presented before, you've got the project coordinator and the ExCom management. Here we have all the bodies. We will work on it tomorrow to fine-tune the role, the duties, and so on. But I try to switch from one way to another way, not to be exclusive. And so here you've got a climate advisor, all the roles and all the bodies that will work on the project. So what we propose is to have NMB support, a network management board. So basically, there will be 1,500 farms, a lot of advisors, and so on and so on. We've got a lot to do in terms of networking, in terms of following, advising more than 1,000 farmers, and with the audit, the daily follow-up, the organization of on-farm demonstrations. So for us as management body and as well as for you as partner, we need to have clear procedure to report data, to report information, and to pass you also information. So BIOSENSE, the World Package 8 leader on communication, will also manage this network management board, meaning that it will be the main channel for interaction between the ExCom, the executive committee, the World Package leader, and all other partners, meaning that all top-down information, so instead of receiving weekly or daily email from one World Package, another World Package the second day, another World Package the third day, and so on, we want really to stream all messages that the ExCom pass to all the partners through this unique partner and this network management board, and the other way around, to organize quarterly meeting. We are not 100% sure about the process, but probably by pedoclimatic area. So to have quarterly meeting with national coordinator, where national coordinator will have the duty to gather information, what happened at local level, what happened in my country, to report it to the management board. And so we will have clear and regular monitoring of your activity. It will also be a place in this meeting, a place to exchange difficulty with other colleagues, and a place also to make requests to the executive committee, to have inquiries, to say, okay, this is going wrong, and so on and so on. So we really want a clear procedure and a mainstream procedure for each of you, so all messages, bottom-up and top-down, are streamed in this way, even if the process we will put in place in the coming months could evolve in the time, because we will fine-tune the procedure and we will be better over the time. But this is how we plan to proceed, because for monitoring purpose and for management purpose, we don't see any other way to manage such a big consortium and to capture information and to give everybody the right information. And as you see, there is I won't spend a lot of time, but here we've got meeting management responsibility. Of course, the World Package leader have the duty to organize the activity of the World Package with the task leader. The co-lead support the World Package leader, of course, because we asked the World Package leader to come on the stage at the earliest this afternoon, but there is co-leaders that are also here to support the World Package leader in the World Package implementation. We've got thematic leaders that are also here to manage knowledge exchange and put animation on thematic area, and of course the national coordinator and the climate farm advisor, and this, as I mentioned, this network management board that develop meeting agenda, organize all this quarterly meeting to monitor your activity and also to stream the information from the executive committee to any project partner. And I will end with a quote. The success of a good research and innovation project lies in common values and good management procedure shared and applied by all partners with a good mindset. And the author, it's myself. Any question on Marion's presentation? Because it's quite key. As Marion mentioned, this is just the beginning. You notice that she's available for you on a day-to-day basis, even days and nights by phone, by email, and so on and so on. If you have any question, please, right now, don't hesitate. As we said, we plan right now, in the coming months, probably in the first quarter, to organize a webinar for your financial officer, for the ones who need it, to teach them the best practices, so they will be aware of the best practices for reporting, and we can do it again before the reporting period, because we believe we need to accompany you in this process. You can take the floor.
And also this video is filmed right now by our friend Thomas, so you can give it to your financial administrative staff so that they can watch it and ask their questions too.
Yeah. Good.